Hey VC, it's Jonathan, the cheap and cheerful record collector. Hope everybody's doing well out there today. It's been a month or so since I've done a video. I hadn't been finding anything for a while, and then the last 2 weeks my wife and I were on vacation. We went to Spain and did a great tour of Madrid, Seville, and Barcelona. That was great. That's another story. But the day before I left on vacation, I went to my local Goodwill. If you've watched my station, you know that I'm a big Goodwill hound. I hit their stores a couple of times a week. There are 4 Goodwills within 15 minutes of my house, and I usually make the rounds. Usually Tuesdays because they had Senior Citizen Day, and I get an extra 20% off. And usually again on Friday, I'll try to see if they put anything new out. So I went the Tuesday before we left on vacation, and I went to a local place, and I walk in and I see a guy already at the record area digging through, and he has a stack like this big, and I'm like, oh man, I must have missed out on some good stuff. So I jump in and start digging. Oh, by the way, everything was $2, and because it was Senior Citizen Day, I got 20% off, so each record was $1.60. I ended up finding 40 records, all jazz. Ridiculous. I've never seen this before, and I've been digging there for 6-8 years now. And this is after he already went through and pulled stuff out, and I saw he had some really nice stuff too. But as I'm digging, the first thing I see, I look over and I digging through, and I see Miles and Monk at Newport. Sort of deceptive because they don't play together. One side is the Miles Davis Sextet with Coltrane and Cannonball Adderley, and the other side is the Thelonious Monk Quartet with Pee Wee Russell. I had a copy already, but this is a step up from the one I had, cleaner copy. Next, they had 2 copies of the same record, one mono, one stereo. I couldn't leave them there. So Getz and Gilberto, one mono, one stereo, both in really nice condition. Now I have 3 copies, because I have a Japanese copy I picked up a while ago, so I might get rid of one of those. We'll see. Next record, I'm digging. I got to go through because I got 40 records. Next one was, again, jaw-dropping. You just don't see this, especially for $1.60. And it's the great Horace Silver, Song for My Father. This is a later repress, a DMM pressing, but still really clean and just one of my favorite records of all time. Again, I already had a copy, but for $1.60, I couldn't let it sit there. I got to pick up the pace here. I got so much to look at. Dave Brubeck, Quartet, Time Further Out. Jerry Mulligan meets Ben Webster. Shelly Man and His Men, Volume 1. I just got to keep on. I got 40 records. This is amazing. Angola Prison Spirituals. Angola is a prison in right outside New Orleans in Louisiana. These are all spirituals sung by the prisoners. I think it's from 1950 some odd. It's a $100 record in decent condition. I just played one side. I was thinking, well, maybe I'll just sell it to make up back the money I put into this stack. No, I got to keep it. It's fantastic. Yeah, people I've never heard of, but people who are there in prison in Angola, just fantastic. How about a double Django Reinhardt album? The best of Django Reinhardt with a quintet of the Hot Club of France. 2 record set on Capitol. And usually when you see these, they always say, you know, reprogrammed for stereo or re-recorded for... No, this is all in mono on the Capitol label. So all mono. I just played one side. Plays very nice. I'm a big Django fan. I got a bunch of Django albums, but I couldn't pass this up. The best of 2 record set. This series, I have 1 or 2 of these already. Obviously not this one. This is a series that they put out, and this is Jim and Mama Yancey, Chicago Piano Volume 1 on Atlantic. They did a whole series of these. Really good. How about Charlie Bird? Charlie Parker Bird at the Apollo with Sarah Vaughan and Stan Getz. The Commodore years. The tenor sax, Lester Young, Chu Berry, and Ben Webster. 2 LP compilation. Zoot Sims. First recordings with Lee Konitz, Kenny Clark, and others on Prestige. How about Sonny Stitt and the Top Brass? Arranged and conducted by Tad Dameron. This is obviously a compilation, but features, besides Sonny Stitt, Blue Mitchell, Duke Jordan, Philly Joe Jones, etc. I can't go through each one. I'll be here all day. Pablo, Eddie Lockjaw Davis, 4, with Oscar Peterson, Ray Brown, and Jimmy Smith on drums. These Pablo are being repressed now. They're putting a whole series of them out at, I think, inflated price of $40 a record for the new ones. But they're redoing a lot of the Pablo series. These are really great, unappreciated albums. Sound beautiful. Really good. Oscar Peterson, Trio. This is with Joe Pass. Again, on Pablo. Original Jazz Classics. Same with the Pablo. Satch and Josh. So you got Count Basie, Oscar Peterson, Ray Brown, Freddie Green, and Louis Bellson. As you see, I couldn't stop buying. Another Oscar Peterson album. Motions and Emotions. This is with a big orchestra. I haven't heard this yet. Dexter Gordon. The Apartment. This is with Kenny Drew. New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Festival, 10th anniversary. On Flying Fish. You got Clifton Chenier, Roosevelt Sykes, Robert Pete Williams, Eubie Blake, and Charles Mingus. There you go. Not jazz, but I couldn't leave it. Original Rhythm and Blues. Love that cover. Original Rhythm and Blues, 1940s and 50s. This is 48 to 52. Don't know any of these people. This was a great... I know Earl Bostic. But Joe Thomas and his orchestra. Cootie Williams, I know. Johnny Sparrow and his orchestra. Dan Grisman. Jimmy Jackson All-Stars. Mighty Man Maxwell and his band. Love that earlier R&B. The Exciting Battle, JATP, Jazz at the Philharmonic. Stockholm, 1955. Roy Eldridge. Dizzy Gillespie. Flip Phillips, Oscar Peterson, Herb Ellis, Ray Brown, Louis Bellson. How about Henry Red Allen and Coleman Hawkins, 1933. Oh, recorded 30. This is nice with the nice page inside. Beautiful stuff. Going and going. How about this? This is the music of Fats Waller and James P. Johnson, played by Dick Hyman and Dick Wellsted too. 2 really classically great piano players. So love the music of these 2 guys. So this should be interesting also. Coleman Hawkins, Jazz at the Philharmonic. All on Verve. Coleman Hawkins, Hank Jones, Ray Brown, Buddy Rich. How about the Prez? Lester Young. Live at the Savoy. Dave McKenna, Giant Strides. Solo piano playing on this one. I bought one album by these guys a while ago. Really look forward to it. The LA 4. Lorindo Almeida, Ray Brown, Jeff Hamilton, and Bud Shank. This is 1979 live at Montreux. One of the few non-jazz albums I got. Third World. And their album, You've Got the Power. Then I got two box sets. Stan Getz, even though it's on Book of the Month Club for $1.60, I couldn't let it sit there. When I opened it up, the person who had it before me, 1991, the obit for Stan Getz, and came with the original booklet. Looks like it's haven't been played. I mean, it's really super clean. Got one more box set. Duke Ellington. This is An Explosion of Genius, 1938, 1940. So early stuff by Duke. And again, came with a booklet with great pictures and stories about Duke and all the songs that are on here. So that's pretty. This is a Smithsonian collection. Then I got a couple of 10-inch. Couldn't pass them by. Johnny Smith Quintet. Sal Salvador. And the big one, Chet Baker Quartet. This is like a $60 record, 10-inch. And I just realized I got about another dozen I forgot to add. So let me grab those and we'll get back into it. So the most expensive record out of all these, this one's like a $120 record. And I had didn't know what it was, but I grabbed it because I love the cover and it's fantastic. New Orleans Washboard Blues, original pressing on Folk Lyric Records out of Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Blind Snooks Elkin and Percy Randolph and Lucius Bridges. What a great album. And for $1.60, I mean, come on, it's ridiculous. Let me see if I get let me see the label. The label is nothing, just a black label. But this, I couldn't believe when I got it home and I looked it up on Discog, and medium price, like $120. Also, in that $100 range, even though this one's not in that great shape, Lee Konitz. And this is with Tristano, Marsh, and Bauer. So you got Lenny Tristano on piano, Shelly Manne on drums on some of them. The only problem with this one is like completely split open. But I cleaned it up nice. And it's on Prestige. There's the original Prestige label. And it plays pretty good. Not perfect, but pretty damn good. And what else we got? Oh, this is cool. Jimmy Giffer playing clarinet, usually a saxophone player. Yeah, so this was actually also a very nice record on Atlantic, the old original black Atlantic label. Also had this one, Japanese pressing, Metronome All-Stars 1956, Ella Fitzgerald and Count Basie. But on the first side is it's called Billy's Bounce. It was the first song. And it's one song, the whole side. And it has Art Blakey, Charlie Mingus, Billy Taylor, Tal Farlow, Al Cohen, Jerry Mulligan, Lee Konitz, Thad Jones. And side two is Count Basie Big Band with vocals by Ella Fitzgerald and Big Joe Williams. And that's a Japanese pressing. There's the in mono. We got a couple more. I was, almost done, but I keep pulling stuff. I can't stop. Teddy Wilson. Statements and Improvisations, 1934, 1942. Nice gatefold. Really clean condition. Obviously, this is someone's collection they dropped off. And the guy before me got some other stuff that I just was salivating for, but I'm happy with what I got. This guy I never heard of, but I love the cover. And Sam Most. This is Sam Most Sextet. I'm nuts about the Most. Sam, that is. The only person I really knew on this band is Oscar Pettiford, plays bass. But Sam Most on flute, Marty Flax on baritone, Barry Galbraith on guitar. Don't know any of those guys, but this was actually pretty decent. I'm not a big flute fan. Probably my least two favorite instruments for jazz is flute and organ. I don't listen to organ music in jazz. Just hits me the wrong way. And last, but certainly not least, out of all those records I got, this is Silver Blue. And this is with Al Cohn, Dexter Gordon, Barry Harris, Louis Hayes, Sam Jones, Blue Mitchell, and Sam Noto. So that's my Goodwill find. I'm exhausted. I think I need a cigarette now. What can I say? I mean, you know, I've many times I strike out. So you only see the good stuff I find. The stuff I miss every day, day after day, where I go in there and I get nothing. You never see that. So don't think I get this all the time, but this was like one of the most amazing finds that I've ever had at Goodwill. 40 some odd records. You got to just keep plugging away. It's all about consistency. You go once and there's nothing there. You can't say, well, Goodwill sucks, can't find anything there. You go back and you go back and you go back. And sometimes it's all about timing. You got to be there at the right place at the right time. This time I was, and I ended up with about 40 some odd jazz albums for really inexpensive. So I cleaned up about half of them already, and I got to get the other half clean. I ran out of cleaner fluid for my spin cleaner, so I just ordered some more. So when I get those clean, get that new fluid in, I'll clean up the rest of them, give them a spin, and I got some good jazz listening ahead. I hope you enjoyed it. Try not to take too much time, about 17 minutes, not too bad. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it. If you like what you saw, give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, just hit that subscribe button. I'd appreciate that. And until next time, peace.